由 John Francis Daly 同 Jonathan Goldstein 共同執導，改編自知名暢銷桌遊嘅新戲，已經同香港觀眾見面。呢部電影卡士陣容強大，包括 Chris Pine、Michelle Rodriguez、Justice Smith、Sophia Lillis、Regé Jean Page、Hugh Grant 等人參演。我哋嘅主播王鎮泉就同其中幾位主演、兩位導演以及監製 Jeremy Legend 接受越洋訪問，分享拍攝點滴。呢部電影將知名角色扮演桌遊擺上大銀幕，為咗更加清楚了解故事背景，幾位主演拍攝前都約埋一齊玩呢款遊戲㗎。
I knew you guys did play some board game, D&D board games before shooting. Did you have fun?
Yeah. I mean, I had fun playing. That I'd never played Dungeons and Dragons until my nephew, who's a huge gamer, a huge D&D'er, introduced me and my family to it. We played, and we had a lot of fun. And then when we played as a team, as a cast, it was really more about getting to know one another and spending some time with one another. And again, this is the great joy about Dungeons and Dragons is like, I don't remember the game, I have no idea what happened. But we had a great time, we laughed, we got to know one another, we spent 3 hours pretending we were elves and like all sorts of fun stuff. So this is the joy of Dungeons and Dragons is it's, every one of us as kids played. We all played, whether we played with toys, we pretended to be cops and robbers or whatever. Dungeons and Dragons is just carrying on the joy of playing that you did as a kid, and you can do it at any point in time. So that to me was like, it was a great reminder playing with the cast of like, this is what I do for a living, and I do it for a living because I love it, and this is why people love playing the game is because it's playing pretend, and we all played pretend.
And Michelle, was D&D a part of your life? Did you recall a lot of old memories?
From 16 to about 18, I played Dungeons and Dragons as a teen, and I really enjoyed it. It was a good exercise in the imagination, and as a person who really loves storytelling, eventually I ended up becoming an actress. So, like he said, it really is a game of improv. You're given these limitations, and then you work within those limitations and have an adventure. And it was really, really fun. And playing again with the cast was a good reminder of that, of why I understand why it's been around for so long.
新戲中不乏搞笑幽默嘅場口，令電影充滿笑料，而且為求逼真，導演同監製都花咗好多心思，將遊戲中嘅角色、場地甚至生物還原出嚟啊！
How hard was it to invent so many creatures visually this time?
We didn't have to invent them.
Yeah, we didn't invent anything. I mean, all the creatures exist in the lore. The difficult thing was actually bringing them to life. And it was important to us that we didn't rely entirely on visual effects. While the geniuses at NPC and ILM did some incredible work with their creatures and dragons and the bigger things that we couldn't actually do practically, we loved being able to do animatronic creatures as well.
Okay, and there are many magic spells in the movie. And how did you guys make the actors experience the texture, like the subsiding ground or a jelly cube trap?
Yeah, well, we didn't want it to be Harry Potter and just have wands with, beams coming out of them. And so we had the actors work with a hand choreographer, believe it or not, who specifically came up with gestures for each spell. And we worked with the Wizards of the Coast, who are the brand holders of D&D, to make sure we got it right as to whether they have to say something or use a piece of something as part of the spell. It's all, as much as we could, it's all true to the lore.
每個遊戲角色都擁有自己擅長嘅技能或者身體特點，而 Justice 同 Sophia 分別飾演嘅術士同精靈法師，又各自有啲咩技能呢？
Simon's greatest strength is that he has an incomparable power within, but he just doesn't know how to access it. He lacks self-confidence, and he's the only person standing in his own way.
She has really good aim.
And she's incredibly strong.
And she turns into animals and whatever.
And isn't it Sophia is a professional gamer of D&D?
Professional, yeah. She gets paid to play.
No, I know a bit about D&D. I've watched videos. I've listened to podcasts. I've played a few times, researched it a little bit, and but I'm not like a major, like a D&D, like know every single thing about D&D. I know I've played it a bit, and that's how much I know, you know, just a little bit of experience. But that's all you really need to do. That's all you really need to know. I feel like people get so scared about playing D&D because there's like so much work they have to go into it. It's like, I don't know anything about it, so how am I gonna play it? You know, you don't need to know much. It's just more of a collaborative thing in order to hang out with your friends.
飾演聖騎士嘅 Reggie Jeoffrey 喺戲中有唔少打鬥場面，需要提前做好多訓練。不過對佢嚟講，拍攝期間嘅最大挑戰竟然唔係呢樣嘢噃。
You guys have to do a lot of mimicking and fighting and running. Which is the most exciting part to you guys?
I mean, the most exciting part for myself was I think the action scenes in this film are really, really quite extraordinary. I know that because it's a fantasy film, our directors were very passionate about not making it feel like a green screen film. They wanted everything to feel real, not just effects coming at you, not just lots of CGI and cuts. So they made us really do the fights. They made us do a lot of stunt training. Every day I wasn't filming, I was in the stunt facility with the stunt guys training 3 or 4 hours, and they'd make me go through, learn the fights, especially if you're going to fight in the armor and in the cape. And so it was just a lot of work, a lot of sweat. They wanted these long, uncut takes so that the fights feel real, and so you can feel the impact of each hit. And so the most fun part for me was definitely getting through those action sequences. But the most challenging scenes were the ones where I had to keep a straight face while everyone else is being very funny. I think that the joy of this film is how chaotic the energy is, how unpredictable all the characters are. And my role as a very, very serious character was most challenging because the other actors in this film, they're all very, very intelligent, very, very funny people. And so if my job is to not find anything funny at all, that's the hardest thing about it, and it only made them funnier.